Hello and welcome to Barb Talks. Today we're talking about healing art. Whether the art is music, dance, whether the art is a drawing, sometimes when we've been through a difficult time or we're experiencing a difficult time, being able to express the things through art is a very healing thing. Sometimes you can't even describe what it is that you're feeling. So that's where visual art comes in. Other times, maybe you are finding that you're writing poetry because that's the way that you can express what's inside of you emotionally or feeling. You're just trying to get out what you're feeling in your life through art forms. So I'm going to share with you today some of the art that I've made that I would consider healing art, meaning it was healing for me to make it. The first piece of art I made during a period of time where I was going through menopause and I couldn't describe what it felt like. And so this piece of artwork where there's all these colorful flowers and beautiful things all around me, and it's wrapped in plastic to represent how artificial it felt. And there I am, the little white person hanging on to the edge for dear life, about being sucked down into a dark hole vortex. So even though everything around me looked fine and felt fine, and even though I might have looked fine on the outside, this is what I was feeling on the inside. This being sucked down into a dark hole and barely hanging on. So that's some art that I made for a time in my life that I didn't know how else to describe what I was feeling. I sought counseling and ended up that I had a gallbladder that was full of stones and was inflamed. And the gallbladder is known as the great imitator. Many times there's all kinds of other things that are going on, and it's like whack-a-mole. Doctors are thinking, oh, is it this, is it that, is it this, is it that? Finally, they took an ultrasound of my belly, and that's when they saw this gallbladder that was huge with these big stones in it. And they said, oh, well, we just need to take that out. It's a really common procedure. But after they took the gallbladder out, I was no longer in the hole falling down. So it's good to put those feelings into art if you can't find an answer for them. Another piece of art that I've done recently, my daughter had a miscarriage. And it was her first child, and she knew it was coming. She'd seen it on the ultrasounds and saw it in there dancing around. So she was excited about it. And the day that she told family, she found out later, was the day that its heart stopped. I'd told her throughout her life about the miscarriage that I had before her. I always called it baby tickle because it tickled my want to be a mom. So it kind of prepared the way for me looking forward to having my first child, which was my daughter. So my daughter had heard these stories throughout her life. So when she found out that she miscarried, she was devastated, but she also knew, well, my mom has gone through this, and my mom said it's fairly common. So I'll just wait, like my doctors have said. Miscarriage, it takes about a couple weeks to 6 weeks after the heartbeat stops for it to pass naturally. And they were monitoring her to make sure that there wasn't any sepsis. So when the baby passed, she was able to hold it. And she showed me pictures. I wanted to see them because I didn't get to hold my baby that miscarried. I saw it, but since I hadn't even known I was pregnant, I was in such shock seeing this. There was nothing else in there except the miscarriage. So I was in shock that I had a miscarriage because I didn't know I was pregnant. Actually, from what my daughter told me, and from what my doctor told me at the time, is most miscarriages, women don't even know. So that my daughter said now, they're saying that 1 in 3 women have a miscarriage. So it's really common, but it's not something that's taught, at least when I was in school, it wasn't taught at all, that miscarriages are so common. It's nobody's fault. And now you can actually send your miscarriage into a lab to find out what the problem was. so that if there's something that needs to be nurtured in your body, you needed more vitamin D or more iron, or maybe your body was trying it for the first time. You think about how many other things we do in our life that we have to try several times before we are successful at it. And why would it be any different from a woman's body that's creating a child? Hello? So it does kind of make sense. And also that soul served their purpose. For me, with Baby Tickle, I basically say that soul got me excited about being a mom. And my daughter is finding out what it means for her. So by her showing me what her miscarriage looked like, it got me to thinking about wanting to do an art depiction of what I saw. And I wanted to show my daughter because I've talked about it, but I never got to show her. And so this is what I saw. Actually, it looked like that. And then this was curled around kind of like that, like a coil. So that's what I saw. And it was about that size. And so being able to have an art depiction that was a life-changing moment for me. Art allows us the ability to process. It allows us the ability to say what needs to be said when sometimes there aren't the words. So I'm curious, do you feel this way about art? Is there times in your life that you've created art to process through something or to try to figure something out? Or to even capture a feeling so that later you can look at it and work it out. I know that a lot of people do art for celebration, or being able to do a picture of your dog because you love your dog, or to be able to be angry about something. But this idea of processing, I'm just curious if anyone else has used art to process what they're feeling. Thanks for being with me today. And thanks for watching Barb Talks.